Okay. Alright, today I'm streaming a general Colab notebook tutorial. So I'm going to use Google Colab to use various AI art notebooks. And I'm going to give you a general overview of how it works. So this is what a Colab notebook looks like. You open it up and you're going to need a Google account. So if you have a YouTube account, you should also have a Google account. So you can just load it up, and it might look a little confusing at first. This is actually the first Colab notebook I ever used. Big GAN, big sleep. Okay, so here's how most of them work. You go to runtime, and you do run all. And it always says this, and you do run anyway. Okay, so here's where you see your session. So we're connecting to Google servers here. So what's happening here is everything that's in this notebook is going to run on Google servers. It doesn't run on your computer. It runs on their cloud, and they let you use a GPU. So that works really good for me because I don't have a GPU. So we hit run all, and that sets up the notebook. So it has to download a bunch of stuff to the session. So this takes a minute. So with this notebook, you put a prompt in. Whatever you want the thing to draw, whatever you want the big sleep to draw, you put in as a prompt. So scroll down. Oh, we should have done this before we hit run all, actually. Okay, so that's the prompt I want to use. Unfortunately, I didn't put it in until before I hit run all. So we're gonna have to restart it once it gets there. Okay. So in this tutorial, I'm just gonna give a general idea of how Colab notebooks work. So for most of them, you do run all, and sometimes table of contents is in here, and this is very important files. So a lot of them you're gonna be in here a lot. The file tree. So here's refresh for the file tree. If you think something's been updated and you haven't got the update on the file tree yet, that's what you do. You hit that. Here's the button for mount your drive, your Google Drive. We'll do that in a bit. Okay, so it's loading up. Down here at the bottom is, you can see what it's actually doing right now. It's like executing, it's loading, building the model. So I first found this in 2021. I think it was out in April. I didn't find it right away. This was the original one, so it's kind of slow, and the results aren't too good. What it does is it draws a dog. I heard a ding. It draws a dog, so this is the default dog you always get at the start, and this tells you that it's loaded up the model and it's working because it used it to generate this. This is what it always does first. You always see this dog, this mutant dog. And what it does is it draws a mutant dog, and then it turns that into your prompt. So here's the dog for the prompt that was put in. I think this is going to be the cityscape painted by Van Gogh, because I didn't change the prompt until after I hit run all. So I think it's doing the default prompt, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. It's almost there. So that's the mutant dog it drew for this picture. It's different. This one's different every time. And sometimes it's not a dog, it's a bird or something. Oh yeah, it's definitely the cityscape drawn by Van Gogh. And that looks just like a cityscape drawn by Van Gogh. Or Van Gogh, if you want to be technically correct. Anyhow, okay, so that's fine. We put our prompt in. So now, if we do ruDALL-E, it'll do the day the sun stood still. So we're going to do, instead of ruDALL-E, we're going to do restart and ruDALL-E. So we start. It doesn't have to download anything though, again. It just skips by that. So yeah, skipping by that, and then it goes down, down, down to our input. And this time it'll draw what we want. This was really mind-blowing when it first came out. Like, we sat around and made so many pictures. These are the ones I made last year. And let's go through some of the ones I like the most. Oh, ding. So that ding. There's our start picture for the day the sun stood still. So it's a bit of a bird. Bit of a mutant bird. One of the more normal looking ones. So I guess that was just the easiest way to get a start picture, was they trained it on dogs and bird pictures, and that was the best starting they had. It's pretty realistic. Like, this part, this bottom right part of the image almost looks realistic, and then this part's a mess, but anyhow, they did a good job. So we just gotta wait for another ding. So I made these ones last year, and I collected the frames and I made them into an animated image, a GIF. So, okay, it did it. Well, there's the sun standing still. So it took this picture and it's morphing it into our prompt. I used to know a way to make it display every image on its way, so you could see it, every frame of it morphing, and I don't know how to change that anymore. It's one of these values you changed, and it would display every image, or every like 5th image or 7th image or whatever you wanted. And I used to know how to change that. I don't know how to change it anymore. It's been too long since I used it. Maybe it's something in here, or one of these values. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see how it's doing. Okay, so it's making our image. Still kind of a mess. We'll see what happens. We'll let it generate a few frames. So these are some of the ones I made last year. Oh yeah, this one I really like. Yeah, this one. A starship opening a warp portal on its way to Earth. I just thought it was really interesting the way this kind of weird square warpy portal-y stuff is going on. And this one is cool because it started drawing a close-up face and it switched to drawing a farther away face halfway. So we get this cool like jumping at the camera effect. That's one of the cooler ones ever. This one's very odd. I liked it though. Releasing demons from their binds. Okay, hopefully the audio is okay. Last time I streamed, the audio was overmodulated and it ruined it. Yeah, and some of these were ones I downloaded from 4chan. I didn't make all of these. The ones at the bottom in particular. So, anyhow, that's those. And let's see how this is doing. Okay, it's very abstract. I don't know if I like it that much, but that's okay. We're going to download it. So for this one, oops, you right click and save each image, I guess. That's what I've always done. So maybe if we let this develop more, it would turn out cooler. I kind of like it though. There's people there. I just don't really understand what it's going for here. These people are pretty well drawn, actually. I saved 3 of them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think I'm done with this. I'm going to go interrupt execution to cancel generating any more. So that's this one. This is the original notebook for generating an AI image. It's pretty cool. It's kind of old and outdated. It's very slow actually for what it makes for you, but that's okay. So that's that one. I think we're done with this. We're going to move on to another notebook. So you can see here we're still connected to the do is runtime. Disconnect and delete. So make sure you saved everything you want. Hit that. And then you go yes. Okay, so that's that notebook. Very simple. You just put a prompt in, and then you hit run all. I kind of did it backwards by hitting run all first, but what you should do is come down here, put your prompt in this spot, and then you go run all. And just wait. And then when you want to change it, restart and run all. Okay, next notebook. I guess I'm going to have to find another image to upscale. So this is the upscaler. I really like this one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so this really does a good job with the upscaling. This is the best one I've ever seen. It just works really good. So we're going to let it do 4x. You can do 2 or 8 or 4. So run all. So sometimes run all is not perfect, but it's kind of the easiest way to just get everything going without worrying about each individual cell. So we'll just tell it to go, and it's probably going to do the sample image, which I'm okay with. You can always stop it midway. So run all, and it's downloading its stuff. You can see here we're connected to a GPU. And okay, it's pretty quick actually. Okay. So choose a file. Okay, this is the pic I want to upscale. So I just hit choose files, and it looks like it did it. So I'll just download that. I guess we had to compare the original. That would be this one. Come on, computer, you can do it. Okay. So we can compare the pictures. There's the original, there's the upscaled. So if you were just to stretch it out, that's what would happen. And that's what it did. Pretty good. So that works really good. I've used this a lot. I've upscaled the video with it, but it's kind of complicated. So it's simple for doing a single image. That's all you really need. If you wanted to do another image, you would just hit this cell again, choose your file, it's pretty quick actually, and then you hit this refresh button. And comparison. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's how this one works. So we're done with that one. We're gonna go disconnect and delete runtime. Make sure you've saved all these, because once that happens, that's gone. Okay, so we're disconnected from this one. Now we're going to do another one. This one, by the way, the links to all these are in the description, or on my Discord server in this channel. There's more in the channel than in the description because I only did some of them. Alright, so this one is the face fixer. You can see the samples. They've compared the inputs with various other ones and then theirs at the end. And you can tell that theirs is way, way better. Something I didn't notice before was this one has someone in the background, and that one did an okay job. This did a terrible job on this picture, and this version actually upscaled the person or fixed the person in the background too, which I thought was really interesting. Just from that 1/4 of a face. Okay, so blah 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 blah. What I do is run all and let it download everything. Probably should do that right away. So we're letting it install. Here we go. So what's going to happen is we used run all. It's going to hit this cell, but then it's going to hit this cell too, unfortunately, and it's going to do the demo image. So if you want to avoid that and not waste the time, a little bit of time, don't do run all. Just hit each cell in order. Probably just hit that, and then hit that. So it's lazy. In fact, it's waiting for my input here, so I'm just going to interrupt the execution. Run that cell. Choose your file. We're going to face fix. That one might not work, but this one probably will. We're going to do that. Okay, so it's got our image in there now. Oh, it's an upload. Right there. Okay, and then we hit this. We skip that demo one. If you want to run the demo though, you can do ruDALL and just cancel that one. Okay, so it's doing it, it's processing. Split it up into 9 tiles, and it put the results in the results folder. So I had to hit refresh file tree to get the results folder to pop up. There it is. We have to compare it to the old one. Okay. So you can see it's improved things a lot, especially the eyes. Did a good job with the nose and the lips. It did an okay job with the eyes. So yeah, that's Face Fixer. Let's try this one in there. I don't know what it's going to do. So if I want to put another one in, I go to this, I hit that cell, run that cell, choose your file. We'll try this one. See what happens. Okay, so it's uploading it. It saved it to the right folder. Now we have to actually do the inference. So we hit that cell. Okay, it's doing it. So we can see the file tree didn't update. Now it did. It deleted our last one, so make sure you download each one each time, otherwise it'll get replaced. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. It did a little bit to the hair too. Interesting. Original result. It's good at lips, and actually did the makeup on the nose all right. I don't think it really saw the eyes, or it thinks sunglasses or something. Anyway, that works pretty good. It's actually meant for low quality images, like fuzzy, but I find that it does a pretty good job on AI images, AI art images that are sometimes a little messed up. If their eyes are too different though, you don't get a good result. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. So we're done here. We're going to disconnect and delete this runtime. And you can close that out if you want. I'm just leaving them open so I can look through them. Okay, this one's really cool. So instead of putting a prompt in and getting an image, you put your image in and you get a prompt. Or you get what the AI thinks of the image. So this is really cool. It takes a while to set up though, unfortunately. At least we got a T4, so that's not the worst. It's better than the worst GPU. The worst is K80. If you get that, that really sucks. It's so slow. So it's setting it up. It's downloading a lot of stuff. For some reason this downloads a ton of stuff before it runs. And in order to do it, you need to put you need to make a folder with your images, which I kind of don't like. I wish it made it for you, but you have to go. Okay, I'll go a little slower. I'll redo that. So it wants a My Images folder. Content is where you are when you hit File Tree. That's like that's where this is content. This is the content folder. Okay, so we want my images. We're gonna have to go new folder, images. Ooh, rare. It's cold in here. Okay, we're gonna upload our images. We can do this while it's setting up. It's fine. It's one of the few things you can do while it's running. Okay, so it's downloading all this stuff. So much stuff. Almost seems faster than last time I tried. That's good. Wow, look how fast it's downloading. I wish my internet was that fast. So all this is happening on Google servers. It doesn't use your computer's CPU at all, really. Just enough to send this screen to you and the files. Okay, that's good. This might go quick. Okay. I don't know what this error is about. It happened to me last time and it didn't seem to do anything. So as long as you have your images in this folder where it's looking for it, I think it works. Okay, so this is pretty cool. It looks at your picture and it tells you what it thinks of it. Sometimes it's more interesting than you'd expect. Okay, it's still doing something. I can see here it's doing stuff. It's interrogating. Okay, it did it. And it saves them excuse me, it saves the prompts in a CSV file, but I couldn't find it. It's not there. Well, it used to save them into a file that I could find, but now they're all different. But anyways, the prompt is here, so we got it. Just gonna let it do both. Looks like it already started this one. Yeah. Okay. So what it does is it renames your files, the prompt, but the problem with that is the file length isn't long enough, so it cuts it off. See? Anyway, I'm going to save them just for completionist sake, but the actual info we're looking for is here. Wish they didn't do it like this. Okay, let's see what it thought of those starting images. Okay, the first one was that guy. Seems like it thinks it's a woman. It does that sometimes. Can't really tell the difference. A close-up of a person wearing a mask, a digital rendering inspired by Bridget Bait-Dekenor, Pixabay contest winner, computer art fashion model in sunglasses in the style of Yukio E, still from the movie Terminator, redhead woman, crack paint, realistic skin shader, gothic jacket, breaking the waves, stylized photo, singer-songwriter Nin. Okay, so that's what I thought of this one. And this one, a close-up of a person with black makeup, a digital painting by George Manson, gothic art, Nadav Kander in costume, Loki, cocky, very pale, 1980s CGI. Copyright TSR 1989. Holding Nevermore vector images, very pale white skin, eraser head, shoulder length black hair, virtuoso. So yeah, that's kind of the sense I get from this picture. Seems pretty accurate. Copyright. Okay, so that's Clip Interrogator. I really like this. It's interesting. Helps you find out prompts to use next time. Okay, we're almost done here. One more. We got Looking Glass. That's one of my favorite ones. So we're going to do ruDALL right away. And something changed in Looking Glass where you actually have to write a line of code now. Where is it? Okay, here it is. So you hit ruDALL and it says no module named pynvml. So go show code, right under setup, show code. And then we're going to go, here's where it's looking for the pynvml. So we're just going to write exclamation point pip install pynvml. I'll put this in the description too. You can just copy and paste it and put it in there. So this line. So then it will have that. ruDALL. So we got the T4. Each time we reset, we have a chance to get a different GPU, but it seems like we're getting T4 every time, which is okay. It's not the best, but it's definitely not K80, which is like turtle speed. So it's downloaded that thing we just told it to. Now it's continuing on. Oh yeah, I forgot. We need to put images into this one. Okay, so what Looking Glass does is you put images into it, and it generates new images based on your inputs. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some more avatar pictures in here. Yeah, we're going to put these pictures in. Old avatar images. So what we have to do here is it's going to look for a folder called images. So we have to make a folder. You had to do a new folder. Uh-oh. Okay. And select our images, drag them over to our images folder that we made. And I'll be right back, 1 minute. While we're on set. So I accidentally hit that thing in the file tree that was the two dots. You shouldn't hit that, because then it opens up all these other folders. But what you're looking for, everything of yours is in content here. If you do that, if you hit those two dots accidentally, you just have to go to content to find out where you should be. Okay, so I made that images folder. I put my avatar pictures in. And it found them. Okay. So down here you can see it got my input files. And it's going to make new pictures based on it. Something I didn't mention that I should have probably is epochs. So the way it works is each picture you put in gets multiplied by this amount, 20. And when it makes your checkpoint, the total amount of epochs is going to determine how similar the output is to your input. So 5 pictures, 20 epochs. Right? So I got 100 total. It's kind of low. So what's going to happen is my outputs are going to be quite a bit different from my inputs. Because 100 total epochs is kind of low. What you want is like 150. Unless you change this, and then it changes everything. So it's kind of complicated. But what you're going to want to know is at least have 100 epochs. If you only put one image in, put that to 100. Or put that high. Okay, so usually I do 25 images, but this time I'm just going to do 4 because it takes way longer to do 25. So it picked up our inputs. It was so fast I didn't even see it, but it did the fine-tuning. So this is our checkpoint. Looking Glass makes a checkpoint. So, oops. So you don't have to redo this again for your input images. Okay, once you make your checkpoint, you can change these settings in between without making another checkpoint. So a checkpoint is made when you put input images in and you tell it to generate. That creates a checkpoint. And then you can create more output images based on that checkpoint over and over and over again, as many times as you want, but you can't change these settings in between checkpoints. This. So if you got things way out of whack, and you can't change your input images either. That's, once your checkpoint's made, that's for these images only. If you want to change that, you got to make a new checkpoint. But once your checkpoint's made, you can go to this cell, runtime options. So you can change this in between new generations. Okay, so it made some pictures for us. That's kind of cool. And they're quite a bit different than the starting ones, but they're not too bad. That's neat. Creepy. And that's just weird. I like it. Who knows what. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit refresh on the file tree. We're going to go down here. Here's our outputs. So that's the pictures it just made. That was cool. So I want to make more pictures like this. What I'm going to do is, I'm fine with these settings. I think that worked okay. I'm just going to hit this. Once your checkpoint is fine-tuned, you can press this button multiple times for more images. So that's what we're going to do. There's our source images. So it's a very tiny image. So that's what the upscaler is good for. It's pretty good actually. Okay, so it's going to make more pictures and it's going to put them in the output folder. And if you do this a bunch of times, eventually your output folder gets really big and messy, and if your Wi-Fi is bad, it won't download. So next time I'm going to do something different for the next round to keep that from being such a mess of files, but it doesn't really matter what I'm going to do next. It's personal preference. Okay, interesting. Neat. Okay, I want to, and the first time we did ruDALL, so it automatically made us a zip file, but because this time I didn't do ruDALL, I just hit that button. I'm going to have to hit this to make a zip file. Okay, so hit refresh on this, and there's our new zip at the bottom of the zips. Okay, save that, and I think that's the fresh one. Okay, and you see how the old ones are here too? There's the new ones we made, and there's the older ones. So it kind of becomes a mess and you have duplicates. So what I do is I go to output, I rename it output 1. That'll be 2 dots for you, or 3 dots for you, I think. But anyways, new folder, output. Cold fingers, can't type. Okay. There's our empty output folder, and now when we make more, they won't be all cluttered. And am I streaming? Yeah. I said I had an excellent connection. I didn't expect that. Okay, so on my Discord server is links to all sorts of stuff, like there's the collab notebook, so that's where you would go to get all sorts of different ones. And there's generators. I've been using this a lot lately, get image. It's a really good out painting mode. It does go that SD leaked, and this is the free version. So yeah, lots of stuff in here. Okay, because I'm making 4 images only, it's only got to do this 1 time. But if you make 25 images, it does it 6 times. Huh. Kind of cool. Okay, so this time, and then we'll hit make a zip. And there's our zip at the bottom. Did I save it? Yeah. That's pretty good. Interesting. Okay, let's try changing the runtime settings. So what I'm going to do is rename that to output 2. New folder, output. How closely it'll try to match the input images. Okay, so we'll just let it go crazy. Ultra high. Leave that ultra high because that's already good. And then we'll see what happens this time. It should be different. It'll probably be very different. Let's see, how's this look? Is it okay? Maybe not loud enough. Acoustics in here are probably not very good. So that was that one. That was cool. This is where you get your text, unfortunately. So that's almost the end of the stream. We did the very first AI art notebook. We did the upscaling. I love this. It works so good. Face Fixer works good. It has problems if the eyes aren't already kind of similar. So if you're going to use it for looking glass output, maybe try to fix the eyes a bit first and then put it in. This works great. Sometimes kind of humorous and kind of makes fun of you in a little bit of a way. Lighthearted way. Okay, so that finished. And here's what we get now. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. Alright. And we're going to make a zip. And we're going to refresh our files. And there's our new zip. And we'll save it. Yeah, that one was pretty good. It's alright. Alright. So that's a general overview. Basically, the important parts are the file tree, run all, restart run all, interrupt. You probably have to use that sometimes. Disconnect and delete. These are the main ones. I'll show you how to connect your drive. You hit that button in the file tree, mount drive, run this cell, let it connect, pick your account, agree, and wait a second. Or two. Okay, so I mounted it there. We hit refresh. There it is. And there's my drive. So my files are in here. And that's how that works. So you can drag files from your drive into the file tree and vice versa. And sometimes you might want a file path from your drive and put it into a notebook somewhere. So that's how you do that. You just right click, you find your file, copy path, and then you would put it in wherever. There's no place here for a file path, but you would do like excuse me. Okay, so that's it for today. That was just a general overview. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I think I covered the main things. Run all is important. You get a certain amount of time on GPU, and then it runs out, and then you have to wait a couple days for it to refresh. I find I get like 4 to 6 hours of runtime, and then I have to wait a couple days. Videos and everything, so come in there too if you want. And yeah, I'll put in the description. I'll put the line of code you need here in order to make it work. This one. Oh yeah, you can't right click and copy from this section. You have to Control C. I don't know why that is, but it's kind of annoying actually. Let's see. So that'll go there. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. See you next time.